Hey lovelies, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to do this distressed locks on my head. Some also call it butterfly locks. I don't know the differences between them. So I've never had this done in a salon before or on my own. So this is the first time I'm going to give it a try. I hope you will like this video. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Also put the bell notification on. It's very important. To start this style, my hair was a 4C which I blow dry and straightened in the previous video. So what I'm going to do now is just section it into little portions. After sectioning them into portions, I use a rubber band to tie them up. This will make it easier for me when I'm doing the locks because my hair is quite short, not that so much long. So I'm just sharing with you how I managed to section my hair into portions before I do this style. I did the same thing when I was doing my previous braid video. This helps me a lot anytime that I section them like this and then put them into a rubber band. It helps a lot and make it easier for me to put my crochet pin through and then pull out hairs. This is very easy. So I'm going to show you doing a few bits around the frontal part of my head, and I'm going to show you the parts I do in the center to how it looks before I continue the distressed locks I'm going to do. So I'm going to move on to the center part of my head and then leave the ones in front as is the same way I'm going to do all of it throughout. So I'm done with that one. I'm going to part the center of my hair, section it, and then start doing the same thing that I did from the frontal part. But this one is going to be a little bit thicker than the frontal ones. The distressed locks I'm going to do, I don't want them to be so much plenty on my head, so that's why I section the hair into like bigger sizes in the center going to the back of my hair. So the hardest part of sectioning this hair into portions is that sometimes seeing the back of the head is a bit difficult, especially if you don't have a mirror behind. So you have to use like an imagination to do that. Sometimes I use the bathroom mirror where I hold the little mirror I'm using here, go and stand in front of the bathroom one and then look behind where I can see the reflection of the back of my head showing in the frontal mirror. So now that I've finished, this is how it is looking. I made this hair myself. I use my expression hair to do this. I use about half a pack to do this preparation and put it on a hair curler and then put it into hot water. That's how I got the curls. Looks so good. I did the same to this brown one. This is looking really nice, like some kind of gold. The hairs I'm going to use to do the locks is what I've just shown you. So what I'm doing now, I'm putting my crochet pin through the underneath of the little section of hair. I pass the hair through the crochet as I pull it underneath the little section, but holding it tightly. When I bring it out, I hold one end of the hair that I'm pulling out and completely bring it out to line with the other end. Every time I pass hair underneath the little section, I hold it again and pull it closer. This will make the hair tighter for me. Then I use the golden looking kind of color to wrap around the whole of the hair that I'm holding. I'm going to wrap everything using the golden color. When it's not enough, it gets to a point that it's getting finished, I'm going to add another more and continue the same process until it gets to the end of the hair. When I'm doing the wrap around from the beginning of the hair, I do it really tight to make it really strong from the root part. When I want the hair to start looking fluffy, I wrap it around loosely. I don't tight it as the previous one. You see that the hair will start looking like a bit fluffy as I want it to look like that. I think that's what gave it that butterfly kind of like look. Finish with the first one. I'm passing the pin again through my hair as I'm going to wrap this little bit of the hair around my hand and then pass it through the pin again, close it and pull it out. I make sure I pull this out gently. I don't rush it, like just pull it with a force. I do it slowly with my finger pressed on the hair. So when I bring this out, I use my hand to pull out one side of it again to come and line up with the other end to make it straight. Then I put the golden one underneath. If you see, I pass it underneath my hair and then I start wrapping around. Always make sure the first few wrappings are really tight, strong. This will make the roots of the hair very strong for you before you continue. When I'm wrapping and it gets to a point where I want the hair to start looking fluffy, I just wrap it loosely. It will not be the same as the previous one tight. And I like it when I see the hair like flying all about. It's like fluffy and hanging a little bit all about. It look really nice. That's why I like this style. The golden hair I'm using to wrap around this is not enough, so I'm going to add new one. What I do is I put it underneath again like before, and then I start wrapping around. So the whole process is kind of just wrapping around. All you are going to do is keep wrapping and wrapping until it gets to the end where you want it to reach, and then you stop it there. In the next coming clip, I'm going to show you how I manage to end the hair when it reaches where I want it to stop. So this is what I do. I wrap it around my finger, then I pull it through as if I'm wrapping. When I pull it through, it will wrap itself up. I'll do this about 2 times. So the remaining of the hair that will be left after wrapping around, I'm going to do the second wrapping. I'm going to continue and wrap it all over, going up again. That's what I do. Wrap it until it goes to the top or wherever it ends, and then I will do another wrapping again at the top there, like with my finger again. I wrap it around and pull it through that little bit of hair until it's all like hidden. I've seen people done it different ways. I decided to do it this way so that the end of the hair will be secure before I continue, because you can see that the end of mine has black in the middle of the hair, so I couldn't continue wrapping it at the top of it. So I'm going to cut that black part of the hair that is showing out. That is why I wrap it first of all at the bottom before I continue wrapping it to the top. Doing another closer look of how I start the hair, I pass the brown hair underneath my hair. I wrap with the other hand, and then I start using my right hand to kind of continue wrapping until it gets to a point where I want. So when I start from the beginning, as I'm showing you, can see that I'm tightening it really hard. This will give a strong root for the hair to stand on, but you don't want it to be too hard, as this will give you a headache. You tie it just up to how you want. So this is how I continue it, just wrapping around until it gets to a point where I want it to look fluffy. As previously, I stretched the hair in a way that it will be more loose for me already. When I'm wrapping around, it will start showing like fluffy already. I hope my explanation of the process is clearer enough for you. So I'm bringing this closer again. I'm doing the frontal part so that you can see if it is clear enough. I just pass the hair through and I'm pulling it out with my crochet pin. When I bring it out, I use my hand to pull the end of the other hair to come and line up. After I open up my natural hair, I divide it into 2 and pull it. This will make the hair, the root of it, be tighter a little bit. I don't want it to be over tight. The next thing I do is I take my golden or brown hair, place it underneath my hair and start wrapping it around. Starting from the root of the hair, I start tightening to make sure it is strong enough to hold well. Then I continue doing the rest of it loose. If you look at this one closely, you see that from the starting of it, it's not that loose, it's a bit tight wrap around, and then going to the continuous end of it, you see that it's becoming fluffier and more fluffy. That's how I wanted it to look. This is what gave it that distressed kind of look of the hair. So I continue this to the end of it, and then I wrap around as I showed you before. I just wrap around my finger, hold the end of the hair and pull it through. I do this about 2 times or so. When some of the hair is left, I continue to wrap it going up until the golden one is finished. So this is the process I used to achieve this style, looking very simple. When I finish, I cut the end of the hair that is left, the black one, because I don't want it showing. Here I'm doing another closer look of the front one for you to see again, because I think the other ones, I don't know if they were clear enough for you to see. So this is what I do. I pull this to make it tighter. I wrap the golden one around it until it gets to the end, but I make sure the starting of it is not that over tight but strong enough. The whole of this process took me a few hours. I can't actually remember the number of hours, but it took me quite a few hours, especially the pattern of the hair, because I wasn't able to see the back of my head, so it was a bit of a struggle for me. I have to move to the bathroom to go and do that, but I did not put that in the video anyway. But if you have a mirror that can see both like angles or like 360 mirror, it will be very perfect for this, especially patterning the hair. It will be really good, as you'll be able to see all the parts of your head, the sides and the back and everything. So this part I decided to use black for it. I don't know why I decided to use black. This and then about 2 others of it I decided to use black. You can see the difference in the black and the gold. Finally finished with the distress lock process. I'm now going to put this hair into a little bit of a bun also, or hold it and go to bed because it's late. I filmed this part about 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. which was almost dark, so I'm just going to sleep and I'll style it the next day. So this is how it is looking now. This is the next day, and this is the side of the hair. The black is showing at the other end. So this is how it came out. What do you think about this hairstyle today? Do you like it? What do you think about it? Leave your comments down below. Any questions, I'm always here to reply you. Thank you for watching this distressed locks tutorial. I hope it was clear enough for you to pick out something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Put the bell notification on so that anytime I upload, you'll be the first to get my videos. And see you in the next video. Bye.